Señorita, oh Señorita, by Gary Ives, read by Gary Ives. Standing in the middle of the Tres Estrellas bus terminal in Matamoros, Tina clenched her jaws. She was so pissed. For starters, Roberto, the dude she'd come with for a supposedly really cool vacation in Mexico, had turned out to be a jerk. At Popeye's Fried Chicken, where Tina worked, he'd come in late at night and he flirted with her for the past month. Not many guys paid that kind of attention to her. No, she wasn't the great Hollywood glamour type, but golly, she had a great personality. She'd won Fry Cook of the Month twice. Now that she'd been full-time with Popeyes for 3 years, she qualified for a week's vacation. He'd been sweet, and he talked her into this trip with him. I speak the lingo, Tina, and I can tell you Mexico is a paradise, just a day away. And Tina, wouldn't I love to be your gentleman tour guide? Show you the exotic, Tina. That's what I want to do, show you the exotic, hon. How about it? You buy the bus tickets, we can stay at my uncle's motel in Monterey, completely free. And hey, if you can find a better deal, go for it. He brought her a magazine article showing lush gardens, beautiful hotels, and the cliff divers in Acapulco. Well, it sounded really good then. The bus tickets to Brownsville, Texas had cost $296. This was Tina's big adventure, and it's all she could think about for the week before her vacation started. But, as it turned out, Roberto was so stupid. And Monterey wasn't anything like that place in the pictures. Roberto's uncle's motel, called El Industrial, was between a big stinky tire factory and a string of cantinas with neon signs and outdoor speakers. Mexico and tequila made Roberto even more stupid and horny, persistently horny. Back in America, he'd been a gentleman. But once across the border, it seemed that all he wanted was sex. Gosh darn, what kind of girl did he think I am? Some kind of whore, I guess. And while she managed to protect herself against his ungentlemanly advances, he'd retaliated by treating her ugly, calling her gordísima. At the motel, Roberto wouldn't talk to her in English, just Spanish, of which she knew nothing beyond sí, no, gracias, and adios. She suspected he was really saying nasty things to her because of his body language and what he was doing with his hand on his thing. On the second morning, he refused to take Tina to breakfast. She had to go by herself. The old man in the tiny restaurant across the street spoke English and she got a breakfast. But then there was a discrepancy with the bill. And the stupid bacon and eggs ended up costing her $11, probably a week's pay in Mexico. Roberto was gone when she returned to the room. She skipped lunch, deciding to take a walk around the neighborhood near the motel, until a pack of rude Mexican boys just about drove her crazy, tugging on her jacket, touching her, and then never shutting up. Señorita, señorita, son chicles. Buy my chicles. Señorita, señorita, buy my toothpaste. Oh, señorita, señorita, buy cigarette. Señorita, señorita, you want buy silver? I take you for the buy silver. Señorita, señorita, you want buy guitar? I take you. God, they went on and on and on. Señorita, señorita, you want buy marijuana? Some poncho? What you want buy? No! Go away! I don't want to buy nothing. Just leave me alone, okay? But they hung on like wolves until finally she decided to return to the motel and maybe watch some TV. Once back at the room, the smell of marijuana greeted her at the door, and in the glow from the television she could see a tequila bottle and 2 paper cups on the nightstand. There was Roberto, naked, sitting up in bed, sucking limes with a skinny old prostitute. He was so drunk and ugly. Hey, Tina, come on in. The water's fine, ha ha ha. Ay, chinga. That did it. In the bathroom, amid the whore's clothes, she made her decision. I am so out of here and all of this shit. To hell with Roberto and exotic Mexico. No, she didn't need that sex maniac. Darned if she couldn't find her own way back to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, United States of America, without his sorry, whoremongering butt. Hurriedly, she threw her things into her pack while Roberto and the hooker jeered her from the bed. Before she left, she stuffed the old tart's red panties and black bra into the toilet bowl. Good riddance. At the same restaurant she'd eaten breakfast, she had a hamburger and fries, but again, there was a discrepancy with the bill, which ended up costing Tina $16. An older Mexican man kept asking her if she was married. Would she like to go to his club with him for dancing and good times? Fortunately, a taxi was just in front of the restaurant, which she took to the bus station, and on her own, without any help from Roberto, she purchased a one-way ticket to Matamoros, just to cross the border from Brownsville. A girl does what a girl's got to do. In her purse was the return Greyhound ticket to Pine Bluff. This time tomorrow night she'd be home and sleeping in her own bed, thank you very much. The wait was a long 3 hours, with the bus leaving at midnight. She wished the time would pass quickly. In a way it did, because there on the hard bench of the waiting room, Tina nodded out. It had been a tough day. She awoke at 11:45 with just enough time to go to the bathroom before boarding the bus. Drops of urine and flies dotted the seat of the single, stinking, unflushed toilet. There was no paper. Instead was a hand-lettered sign advising patrons in Spanish and English that toilet paper could be purchased at the magazine stand. Well, she'd just have to hold it and hope the bus had facilities. So before boarding the bus, she bought a comic book and a roll of Mexican toilet paper. On the road, Tina felt better. Much better. She'd taken charge of her life and peed, and was now on her way back to America in the beauty of the English language, clean sheets, good hamburgers and fries that didn't cost no $16. Roberto, go to the devil. He better never show his face at Popeye's again. She'd tell those cops that hung out in the parking lot eating boxes of free chicken, and they'd arrest Roberto and haul his Mexican butt to jail. She pictured Roberto's whore fishing her stuff out of the toilet. Leafing through the comic book she'd bought, she suffered a vague, unsettling feeling. The cover of the book was funny. It looked like a Donald Duck comic. But on the inside, the duck figure was a homosexual, and the other ducks with penises. These Mexicans are sickos. She put the book aside, then realized it was not the nasty book bothering her. It was something else. Quickly, she went through the things in her purse. Once, twice, and again. It was gone. The wallet containing her money, her papers, the credit card, the phone card, her ID, driver's license, and the Mexican tourist card. All of her important papers, gone. The Greyhound bus ticket, too, gone. Oh, God. One of the boys at the bus station probably picked it out of her purse when she had dozed. Oh, no. There would be problems now at the border. Maybe the Mexicans would not let her leave without ID and the tourist card. Quietly, she cried for a bit and then prayed that God might destroy Roberto and all the Mexican boys by fire. Amid a cloud of black diesel fumes, the big bus rolled to a stop in the Matamoros station. As Tina stepped down from the bus, nervously anticipating facing the immigration officials, a Mexican boy tried to get her attention. Señorita, oh señorita, psst, psst. He tugged at her jacket, and she jerked away sharply, trying hard to ignore him. Oh, God, how was she going to cross into the United States without any ID? Oh, I wish I had those papers. And then, like an answered prayer, Tina heard the soft young voice of the Mexican boy. Señorita, Señorita, you leave your papers on the bus. I picked them up for you here. My papers. Oh, my God, thank you, she exclaimed as she turned around, her hand outstretched to the boy, who handed her the roll of Mexican toilet paper Tina had left behind.